Welcome back to Welsh Miniature Board Gamer, and this is my monthly roundup of what I managed to get painted. So this is the month of May 2025. So I managed to paint up around 20-ish miniatures this month, and yeah, I could have probably painted some more, but it's quite warm at the moment here in Wales, and it's making my paints dry up a lot. I know I should add water, I should be using a wet palette, etc, etc, but I don't do those things very well. So yeah, I haven't done as much painting as I would have liked to do. So you'll see most of the things that I'm going to be showing you are things that you've already seen if you've been watching my videos. You would have seen me doing reviews on them, etc. So hopefully you can see that the picture quality is better than it usually is for my videos. That's because I've invested in a new camera. If you haven't noticed that was a waste of money. And also I've invested in a new microphone, so hopefully the audio comes across much more well-rounded and defined, etc. So let me know if you can tell the difference. Unfortunately, because this camera is considerably better than my previous camera, you will see how awful my paint jobs are, so be kind with me on that one. Also, I've just chucked up this camera and it's a not really a ideal lighting situation, so you know it looks kind of rough probably at the moment, but you know, I just wanted to get this intro done and then we can get on to actually what I've got done during the month. So my monthly recommendation, as I always do, well, recently I've started doing, for a YouTube channel that you might want to go and visit. Now, I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce his name, but Alrufian, I think. I'll put the description down below and where you can find him. But he's a really fun kind of creator, and he makes a lot of terrain using fairly easy or simplistic techniques. You know, nothing that's really hard to do, like some of these really sort of top-notch terrain builders. They use techniques which an average person would struggle to do. I do. But Alrufian sort of breaks it down quite easy for you. He uses cheap materials that you can generally find anywhere. So yeah, if you are interested in making terrain, have a little look at his website. He's yeah, a fun guy, and yeah. So let's get down to the table and see what I got painted up. So this is one of the avatars of War Stone Trolls that you saw me review earlier in the month. Really like them, really think they're in decent sculpt, and I think I painted them up quite well, even if I do say so myself. You know, considering what they are Stone Trolls, so they're, you know, they're meant to be a little bit sort of, I suppose, monotone. You know, they're kind of greys, etc., because, you know, that's what they are. That was from a Mantic scenery piece, I think from one of the, I can't remember what they call them now. It's like Night Stalkers. Yeah, one of the Night Stalkers things. They had a bunch of those in with it, which, you know, make it really nice and kind of finish off that base quite nicely. So that's the first miniature that I got done. Then we have this one. This is another one of the same regiment. So I think there were 10 trolls in the pack, which was really nice. You know, a lot of trolls. So, you know, you got all these different variations on a theme. I kind of like the way he's lifting this guy up, ready to bat him away with his spiky sort of signpost club type thing. Yeah, and I do like he's got his little green moss quiff that he's got here on top of his head. Then we did, well, I did, sorry, you didn't do it, I did it. Then we've got this green one, which I tried to do more typical troll colours, you know, but I've still got the stone on his back, on his arms, etc. This was the one that had a bit of a misprint, so he had all gaps on his back, but I filled them in, and you can't really tell, you know, the Milliput work is sufficient to hide that, I think. I like the way he's carrying his lunch on his leg, and yeah, really like that. Really like these Avatars of War trolls. So these two you wouldn't have seen because I already just finished painting them, so I haven't even got the varnish on them yet, but I like this guy. I like this big club. There is one thing that bugs me about him. You'll be seeing it coming into view now. There they are. Why have skulls got hair? How would they have a beard? That just throws me off, and yeah, I really don't like that. I should have tried to carve it off because it bugs me, probably irrationally so. It bugs me. So yeah. But other than that, I really like the miniatures. I really like this guy. You know, I did him in this sort of green colour, and I've done him sort of like with emeralds on his back, as opposed to like the granite of the grey ones. And then the last of the trolls that I've painted up this month. This one I did the grey scheme again, but this time with sort of sapphires growing on his back, or some equivalent of. And yeah, I really like them. I think he painted up nice. Maybe, you know, I think you could probably paint it up. Well, I'm not going to say you could paint it up better because I don't know who you are. But I think a lot of people out there could paint it up better. And but for me, you know, they're really nice. And to get a troll, you know, for the price that I did, it was dirt cheap. So, you know, if you want to see more about my review on these, go and look back this month's videos and you will find the Avatars of War Stone Trolls review. So also painted up this month was, and reviewed on the channel, were these KZK Iron Fortress Orcs, I think they were called. I just snapped off this sword. This sword didn't actually belong to the kit. This sword belonged to the Oathmark Orcs, so that's why it broke off probably. They weren't meant to go together, but yes, and I think they were nice looking orcs. I like this one with his mohawk. You know, for some reason, orcs always look good with, you know, 80s style mohawks. You know, they're a fashion statement apparently for orcs. I like this one. He's like, he is vicious looking, but look at his belly. He's got a nice bulbous belly. You know, that is really cool. I really like these design of orcs. They really are the aesthetic that I like in orcs, and I've reviewed and gave my opinion on them. So yeah, look earlier in the month if you want to see what I thought of them in a bit more detail. This one had the head of one of the Oathmark orcs, and as you can see, look really good going on the bodies of these 3D printed miniatures. I hope you can actually see that, you know, this camera does pick up my miniatures a bit better and a bit more clearer. So now you can see how, you know, how bad my actual paint jobs actually are. But no, you know, I hope you can see there is a difference in the camera quality and even in the sound quality, because I've even updated my microphone. So actually spending money on the channel is, you know, quite a painful thing for me, but you know, I figured if I was going to keep doing this, I may as well have decent sound and decent video quality. So yeah. So as you can see, the majority of the miniatures that I've painted up this month are actually these KZK orcs. And yeah, really nice looking things. This one was the Oathmark body using the KZK head and shield. But yeah, apart from that, he was straight out of the box Oathmark orc. Another sword that I managed to snap off just now. Okay. So, yep. Those. I think I actually showed my painting of this one, maybe? I'm not sure. I showed painting of an orc earlier this month as well, so if you want to see that, it'll be earlier in the month. And that's them. And then the dude that I managed to drop. A spear. Looks like he's sort of thrusting the spear towards someone. But yeah, really liked these really nice sculpts. And I painted all of them up, all 10 of them. So I painted 5 of the trolls and 10 of the orcs. Then we had some of these papsicles. So this is Mercenary Stalking Prey, I think he was called. Not a very catchy name for him, but I think that was a thing. And I discovered that he was kind of based loosely on Crossbones, I believe, from the Marvel Universe. But I painted him up completely different so that, you know, he can fit into my universe a bit better. But yeah. Again, if you want to see my review of these miniatures, they would have been previously in the month, and I would have shown you them and talked about what I thought of the actual sculpts, etc. But yeah, they painted well, and you know, there's plenty of detail on them. They're nice and crisp. These were printed up in 32mm, I believe, but you know, most people who will print them up for you, if you go on to Etsy or eBay, etc., will print them up in 28mm if you just mention it. They will often do that for you. And then this one was Annie D. Captive, I think was her name. But yeah, really like these. Really lovely miniatures. And then the final 3 miniatures are actually something that the Crafty Mini sent me when we did our Rangers of Shadow Deep exchange. So he sent me these rather, well, I hate to say it, but rather ugly looking guys, and armed with like carapace claws. Kind of gross and weird. Not usually my aesthetic, you know, not something that I would usually sort of gravitate towards, but yeah, I think they're really cool, and you know, I'm grateful that of course the Crafty Mini sent me them. But I finally got to paint them up, and I hope I did them proud. So second one, he's got like 2 of those crab shell claw swords, whatever they are. He's got that sort of pyramid head, Torque Armada 2000 AD style helmets, which yeah, are very thing, and all those nice and glistening pustules, really nice. And then the final one of the 3 that I was sent, yeah, that's really good. He's getting ready to claw someone, marching towards them, etc. And really nice, sort of very gothic, you know, that sort of grimdark, sort of Cthulhu-esque aesthetic that they are. And I'll be quite looking forward to using them in something. So what I'm actually working on at the moment, so not actually for this month's what I've got done, but I'll give you a quick preview of something, is the automatons for Stargrave. So that's just a very quick glance at them, and you'll see next month me go through them and give you my opinions on them. So that will be it. Let's go back up for the final goodbyes. So that was a roundup of what I got painted during the month of May 2025. If you want to comment, I do reply to every single comment. If you want to leave a like, you know, they're much appreciated. I do appreciate people leaving likes. And if you want to see more from me in the future, you can always subscribe and you will see more. But until next time, I'm going to say goodbye from me, Welsh Miniature Board Gamer. Oh yes, and I almost forgot to introduce Welshie, my new mascot for the channel. So my daughter decided that I needed to have a mascot. So this is now my new mascot that sits judgingly above me on my painting table, just criticising everything I do and looking angry with those big round eyes. But yes, that is Welshie, and there you go. So my daughter is happy now that I've put him in my video.